us today. I'm very excited because I really lovely guest today who does so much for the Coral Gables Museum. Her name is Lily Dominguez. And but before I get to you, Lily, and thank you again for coming, I want to thank my sponsor. Our show sponsor is All Things Jackie M. Jackie was a guest not too long ago because she's very involved in nonprofit stuff. But she and her husband have an insurance agency, Geico, in Palmetto Bay. But she is a serial entrepreneur, so that's why All Things Jackie M. She has a real estate license and also an Airbnb in Oahu. So if you're looking for a great property to visit Hawaii, give her a call and you see her little thing, All Things Jackie M. So you can Google her or whatever, but she's great. Anyway, so
that's great.
Up to you. Yeah, I know. She's great. She's also the president of Gilded Lilies.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So with Easter seals, which is great.
Her out too. That's
great.
No.
I have so many great people in my life, thank goodness, that do so many good things. And Lily, you're going to be one of my new friends because I love what you're doing at the Coral Gables Museum. So tell us a little bit about all the programs you're involved in. I know you target 4 different audiences we were talking about. So let's talk about, first of all, name the 4 because I think I know them.
Okay, so first of all, thank you so much for inviting me
to
your wonderful program. And this is an honor for me and that you're featuring me. Well, the Coral Gables Museum and the Education Department is busy. It's getting busier.
Always.
with as time passes, it's getting busier, and I am very excited that I get the support of my executive director, John Allen. And thanks to his trust and support, I'm able to expand the department to a variety of audiences. So right now, as you were mentioning, I have teachers, I have families, I have adults, and I have children in general. So for the teachers, I created a little addendum to the workshops, to the professional workshops. That continues. We're doing every teacher planning day. Teachers through Miami-Dade County Public Schools, they have to attend a workshop for planning hours so they can get some points. And we are one of the many institutions.
It's like getting CRE credits?
Yes, similar.
Yeah, right.
So it's through the district. They have to sign up. And we are affiliated with MDCPS, the district. And we are one of the institutions, of the many institutions that offer teachers workshops throughout the day. Yeah. So we are fortunate enough to be considered one venue to be offering that. And we offer, right now it's all virtual. Used to be in person. It used to be fantastic that we get the teachers inside the museum, but right now it's all virtual until further notice. So we're offering different types of hands-on activities, experiential learning that they can apply to their classrooms, and it's pretty much open to mainly art teachers in the district, but all teachers that want to integrate the arts, and that's kind of what STEAM proposes: the science, technology, engineering, arts.
STEM.
Yeah. It was STEM, and now it's STEAM. So it's everything. So the A is
I like
added.
that they added that.
Yeah,
that's
the A
great.
is added for arts, and arts, as we all know, provides a lot of skills and habits that we need to incorporate, and children need to incorporate for critical thinking purposes. It opens the spectrum to so many wonderful things that they could do with the other disciplines. Right. So we have also, in the department, we have expanded that to nature and have a little bit more of the outdoor classroom incorporated to that experience. So back in the summer, I created the art workshops, and that is in collaboration with, which brings me to the theme of collaboration. This is a huge theme with the department at Coral Gables Museum. And that is the Everglades National Park. They have a wonderful director of education. Her name is Yvette Cano. Hi, Yvette, if you're watching. And her team we are collaborating on this series of workshops that is also targeting teachers. They could go to the Loop
And
Road.
how did they find out about that?
They find out through the museum website. And when the workshops are offered, again, it was offered the first a series of 3 or 4 workshops during the summer. And then we had to stop because the district is not approving in-person workshops at the moment.
Okay, so but to get to the Coral Gables Museum site, is it coralgablesmuseum.org?
It's coralgablesmuseum.org, and we have several tabs on top, highlighting all the wonderful departments that we have: exhibitions, events, history, and then a little bit toward the right-hand side, you're going to see education. And when you click on education and use a huge list, we'll scroll down, and then
you have so much going on there. You have camps. And I know every time there's like a gap in the school year, it used to be, you could send your kids to camp at Coral Gables Museum.
While the teachers are getting their professional workshop on teacher planning days, then we also offer the families the
So when we get back to normal, what are we going to do? Are we going to go back to the way you used to do it?
Yes, we'll figure it out then. It's not crossing that bridge yet. But as we are unveiling the new normal, we are again watching all the protocols, safety.
Are you able to bring anybody at all in with social distancing?
I'm bringing kids already. We started. We didn't want to do it in winter. I know some summer camps were in person during the last summer and some winter camps as well, but we didn't want to do that. We did it all virtual. But now for the first teacher planning day that's coming up on March 26th, we have a 1-day camp for kids. And we have.
And now the kids don't have to live in Coral Gables, right?
No, they
can come from anywhere. So if somebody's, and you teach.
Yes, and on top of that,
other college. No, it's not like this is her only job. So you've got a broad outreach.
Yes. So we have the camps, and I can do so much. I organize it. I have great help from my colleagues, but I'm mainly in charge of hiring the teachers. So I have to make sure that they comply with all of the guidelines that I put in place, and I train them and I observe them. So once I have my my pool of teachers and counselors and camp counselors, then I can implement camp. So I'm doing that for 1-day camp coming up on March 26th, and for the spring camp, that is the week of March 29th to April the 2nd. And it's going to be a lot of fun because we have a lot of activities planned. And while I'm doing that, I'm also teaching college. I teach higher ed.
Tell me. So yeah, I know, like she's not busy enough, right?
Yes, I used to teach middle school and high school. And that I had to quit because that was too much on my plate. But once a teacher, always a teacher. So I continue with my camps and my kids.
So are you teaching education courses or what? Or
I teach, I am a proud graduate, doctoral graduate of Berry University, the Adrian Dominican School of Education.
Oh my God. Did you do the fun run?
No, I didn't.
One of the very last things we did was the fun run at Berry.
Well, I'm sure as things go back to normal, I'm going to be a lot more involved with in-person activities.
We were just talking about that. 2022, we hope they bring the fun run back.
Yes, then I'll be there. But in the meantime, it's all virtual for us and then, and them as well.
So your doctoral degree was in what?
In education.
In education. Oh, yeah, so you're perfect.
Yes. So it is a perfect degree for me. At the beginning, it was intimidating because I come from a fine arts background. I used to think of myself solely as an artist, and that was like my go-to my go-to hiding spot. If I am too overwhelmed or if I have too much going on, I would just retire to my studio and do my art.
What kind of art do you do?
I originally printmaking. That's my passion, and then photography. So I'm able to mix the two, but I can do anything. Since you're a teacher, you one of the things is that we keep you curious, and then you can learn anything you want. So, but I do have my printmaking studio at home, and I'm able to produce my own photographs there. So I've been doing that for a while, and then I found out that I love to teach because I was teaching as part of my graduate program at UM, because I'm also, my master's is from UM, and
this goes I
am all over the place.
So you've got the universities covered.
Under the direction.
Where's the other? I know you're teaching at another college though. Which one?
Miami-Dade College.
Miami-Dade. So you've got Miami-Dade, UM, and Berry.
Well, I used to teach, but now I'm not teaching there anymore.
Uh-huh.
I'm only teaching at Barry University and at Miami-Dade College.
Okay.
So the classes are flex or blended.
Yeah.
So
Mhm.
you can be virtual and in person. So we are doing that in both
that's nice.
institutions. But I'm bringing a lot of that experience. You know, Gloria, it's never been a straight line. You know, going from one point to the next, or even from the bottom
I get it.
up. It's never a straight line going anywhere. It's more.
Well, when you're an artist, especially,
Yeah.
you have all these ways you
It's
can.
organic. I mean, for
Yeah.
lack of a better word, and it ebbs and flows, and you know, the road kind of turns and gets into busy and unexpected and threatening
By the
situations,
way,
and then it opens up.
if there are donors out there that want to support your expanded programs, this girl has so many great ideas, and it'd be lovely to have a huge donor come in and say, hey, let's just support the education programs, because you can reach well beyond it's Coral Gables Museum, but anybody can send their child, teachers, you have teachers from all over Miami-Dade County. There are so many things that you can do there, and the facility is so beautiful. I used to have my office there.
Oh, really? On the
We
top
had
floor?
before the Community Foundation kind of started the Coral Gables Museum, and then
before
it went off. Yeah, but I was there when they were creating the board and whatever. But we had our offices in what was the county jail or the city jail.
Well, now it's
there were bars on the
Creating
windows.
The Dream. Our highlight exhibit, our beautiful exhibit, Creating the Dream, that shows the history of the planned community of Coral Gables and how they all started with George Merrick in 1925.
Yeah, so you saw where the jail was. So it was jail, firehouse, whatever, and the court.
Yeah, my office now it's in the fire department side of it.
Yeah, I know. Yeah,
I get to relieve the moment of sirens.
Where they used to bring the fire trucks in
yes,
and that kind of stuff.
Yeah,
yeah.
Every time I go to my office.
What a beautiful, beautiful way they've built the museum, and then the fuel edition, which is so beautiful to have. I mean, you can have large parties there, and you were telling me you were able to actually bring in some revenue by having groups come in and do things. With
we have
your little.
Well, going a little bit, just tracing back to the steps to the different programs and the different populations that we target.
Right.
We have the families. So we have Family Day, and that is a tradition. It's a combination of activities that we create from joining forces with Books and Books, the Coral Gables Arts
Which is
Cinema,
perfect.
and the museum, and the Coral Gables Museum. So the three of us together have created Family Day on Aragon. And that is how traditionally has gone. And now with the pandemic, it has stopped, and I relived the whole Family Day on Aragon inside the museum. So it's not an Aragon per se, but it's inside.
Well, do you do it in the outside patio?
We do it on the courtyard.
Because there's a beautiful outside patio.
It's beautiful. The museum is a beautiful building, and it's a repurposed building, and it's a building that has gone through a lot of renovations, and the latest renovation turned it into what it is now, the Coral Gables Museum, with some cultural offices from the city of Coral Gables on the second floor, what used to be the dorms of the firemen. So right now we are incorporating a little bit of those tours with Family Day. So the programs have mixed, and we mixed and matched them depending on the population that comes to the museum. And Family Day now is able to be featured in the courtyard and the loggia.
So for Family Day, what do you do?
It's all open spaces. So I have created a program that's called Artist in Residence. So basically what the education department wants to highlight is all these wonderful local artists that have grants, that have received grants, but they don't have a space where to showcase their talents and do their performances. So we invite them to the museum to be an artist in residence, which also means that they collaborate with us. And right now we have South Florida Chamber Ensemble, and they have been a resident with us for over 6 months now. And they perform every Saturday, beautiful interactive programming for children. They read and they perform pieces. They are musicians, wonderful musicians. It is the ensemble.
And what is the name of the?
South Florida Chamber Ensemble.
Okay.
Three
That's
ladies
wonderful.
that are fantastic musicians, and that they have a program called Illuma, and they bring traditional folk stories from all over the world and adapt them
Oh my
to
gosh.
children. So children color, they draw on color while they are performing. They will stop eventually and explain about the story and about the instruments they're playing and why they're important in that culture. So it's a beautiful programming for children. And that happens in the courtyard at 3 p.m. on the second Saturday of every month.
Really?
And then we have
We need to promote that. Oh
we
my
have
gosh.
Avesani Voice Studios.
Yeah.
It's a music school that stemmed from the wonderful Miami Conservatory of Music, led by Brigitte Kichler.
Get those names in there.
Yes.
Thank these people. They're doing such wonderful things.
Wonderful endeavor that lasted many, many years. And unfortunately, during the pandemic, the physical space had to close down.
Yeah.
But the wonderful teachers and students that sprouted out of that institution are all over Miami now, and Brigitte Krichler and I were great friends.
Yeah, you've got some years that you can. Yeah.
Yes, and we got together, and she had brought a lot of those talents to the museum. So I am lucky and very honored that she had trusted me her talents, the professors from her school, to come perform at the museum. So that's how I got Nicola Vesani. She leads a beautiful program, musical theater, that we will be showcasing during summer for summer camp. And we also have Federico Musgrovi, who leads the Florida Guitar Foundation.
Okay.
And he is also coming to the museum doing open mics every first Friday of the month for an event that my wonderful colleagues at the museum have created called Twilight Fridays.
Twilight Fridays. Okay. Now,
Every first Friday.
Is that a paid event?
No, it's free.
It's free?
Yeah,
and what do you do out on the patio?
Similar to the gallery night that we used to have.
Okay.
But now it's only our event, so it's called Twilight Friday. It's only the Coral Gables Museum. We're open every first Friday of the month at night.
And you go inside?
You go inside the museum.
And then
if
you go
want
out
to
in
see
the patio?
Exhibits, then you go out to the courtyard where we have activities. And
when you go in, for people that don't know, when you go in the museum, you can go straight back to the courtyard.
You can go straight back into the courtyard for a catch bar and some live entertainment. And then if you go inside, there's a beautiful community meeting room that is very spacious.
Used to be the old courthouse.
Yes.
Or where the judge was.
The store used to be the store. That space was the original courthouse, and then they repurposed that community meeting room and they made it the courthouse, the official courthouse. I think it took a few years, but that's me learning the history of the building.
Yeah, no, they're at one point when they renovated, they got rid of that half second floor they used to have.
Yes.
So that you got the full effect of the what it used to be.
Correct. Yeah. Yes. So that's a beautiful room. It's very spacious, and
but the courtroom,
And when the Florida Guitar Foundation saw it, they said this is the perfect room for open mic. Unfortunately, they can't be outside because the guitars are very expensive, and they can't be under the elements.
That's true.
And
so they social distance inside. Is that the deal with open mic?
Yes, open mic. They invite their audience, and whoever wants to join from our audience at Twilight, they come in, and we have every event that we do that is live in person, we have to follow all these guidelines about
see if mask and social
6
distancing
feet
and whatever
of separation between seating and the mask. So we enforce that 100%, and it's safe to go. I would say it's very safe to go to the museum and enjoy all of these wonderful things happening.
Well, and more and more, you've got people that have already gotten both their vaccinations. I mean, in our office, I think there's only a couple of people that haven't gotten both vaccinations. So we're feeling, I mean, I know that we still wear a mask. You've seen us. We wear a mask inside, and we have this
I do wear
protective
a mask every time, but I'm fully vaccinated.
You are too, see? So
because of the camps, I want to make sure that I'm fully vaccinated.
Yeah.
So yes, that's a lot of hope that we are going to be able to return to some normalcy.
Well,
similar to what we used to have.
Yeah, we're planning on it.
But that's wonderful for the arts and culture. It's what suffered the most during this pandemic.
For sure.
And I know that a lot of people that didn't think of this, that it was tacit, right? It was just there, and now you don't have it and you miss it. And every time you have a cultural opportunity opening up, coming up, we're here. The Coral Gables Museum. Come see us.
I think people are pretty much tired of Zoom.
Yes. I taught for a whole year on Zoom middle schoolers and high schoolers. It is a tough endeavor. So teachers, my respects. You deserve all the
teachers
respect
and
in
parents.
the world, and parents too.
Yeah, right.
But teachers are doing wonders. We're performers. We have to engage, entertain, and instruct all at the same time.
Yeah.
And via Zoom, it's quite difficult.
Yeah, absolutely. And well, I've got a granddaughter who goes to University of Central Florida, and poor thing, she had her freshman year, and that's it. Mm-hmm. She's going to be a senior next year, and she's been for like, it's going to be hard. Forever online.
Mm-hmm. Engaging. So tonight I do teach a class at Barry University, and it's Zoom. It's via Zoom. So I'm teaching them how to make collages. It's a self-portrait.
Well, collage. That sounds like fun.
It is fun via Zoom. It's one of the best things that we could do that I could come up with.
Actually, the Coral Gables Women's Club is doing a art with a twist event.
Yes,
because our ballrooms are big enough that we can accommodate a certain number of people. We can actually accommodate 125 people, but for the art event, I'm sure it's going to be a lot less and spaced and whatever. But we're actually going to do a watercolor. Oh, and I've never done a watercolor before, because usually they have you using oils, right? Like when you go to those little places and they have the little things.
Mostly they dry fast, but we apply a layer and then it dries quickly.
So I said, oh well, I've never done watercolor. So that should be fun. You should come.
Yes, I will. Yeah,
you could, and then you could teach the next one.
I love watercolors. It's beautiful.
Oh my gosh, yeah. But there's so tell me, so you got your master's at UM.
Yes.
You got your PhD at Barry. Where do you hail from? Are you from here originally?
No. Originally,
where are you from?
Born and raised in Cuba.
Oh my goodness.
Yes, I arrived in 1995.
Wow.
And I had some art studies already done there. I went to a very prestigious academy that continues to be prestigious, and I'm a proud graduate of San Alejandro.
San Alejandro.
San Alejandro. It's not a copy, but it's an adaptation of the San Fernando Academy in Spain. So it is something that was opened in Havana for artists that wanted to complete academic studies. So it's like a military school for arts.
A military school for arts.
For the arts. It's viewed more in that fashion. When I arrived here, I saw art schools that were wonderful because you had the freedom of creating whatever you wanted, and that
so it wasn't programmed for you.
It was different, and everything that is different is weird at the beginning until you learn to adapt, and that is one of the wonderful qualities that we all humans should learn. Adapting to what you are around, what you have around you. But so when I got here, and I have some of those studies done in Cuba with the Instituto Superior de Arte, ISA. I left when I was in my first year, and it's also a very strict art school for the higher ed art school. So when I got here, I went to New World School of the Arts.
Oh well, what better place to go?
I started finding out or looking for options of things that I could do. So I went to Miami-Dade College for my English, my ESL. So I'm an ESOL girl. Well, product of ESOL.
Well, that worked really well.
That program
for
is
you.
amazing. So then I went to New World School of the Arts. I enrolled in art, and that was my major, printmaking, until I graduated.
Okay.
And then did not go straight to grad school. I waited a few years. I wanted to see.
That's always good, I think.
What's like. Yeah. I used to work at Miami Art Museum.
Oh, you
used
did?
to be MAM.
Oh, yeah.
Right there in that beautiful square in downtown Miami, next to the only building that History Miami used to have. Now the second building they have used to be the Miami Art Museum across from the library.
Right.
So I worked there and learned a great deal about museum education, museum endeavors in general. So it was in the back of my mind, brewing, that one day I will return to a museum.
Oh, yeah.
And do something.
And it happened. Yeah.
So
now we got to keep you. We can't lose you.
So
we lost Luis Valenzuela, whom I saw over the weekend, by the way.
That's great.
He's with the Florida Grand Opera now.
That's great.
And he was wonderful. And then Lynn Bauer, who is
wonderful, Lynn Bauer,
past chair of the Coral Gables Museum, told me, "Oh my gosh, you're going to love Lily Dominguez. She's awesome.
Oh, that's
And
great from her. That's so lovely from her.
no, and I saw Louis. He said to say hi to everybody at the museum.
Yes, she told me you have to go to a show, and I'm like, I am shy, and I am a teacher, and I can perform in front of students, but in front of audiences that I don't know they're there, but they are. I am more like a behind the scenes operator.
Yeah, you know, it's so funny that everybody tells me that, you know, oh no, I don't want to do this. You know, I'm afraid. The first time the president of the Rotary Club came on, she thought it was a radio show.
Oh,
I go, no, it's live.
And she wasn't prepared.
Yeah, no. She didn't have time to get worried about it. You know, and she did fine.
That's wonderful.
Yeah. But I think when it's so casual, and you know,
it's a great opportunity.
If we make a mistake, I always tell people, if we make a mistake, no big deal. It just makes it more interesting.
And this is the way it works. We were talking earlier about collaboration and community, and those are two pillars.
I know.
I mean, I wouldn't be here talking to you if it weren't for Lynn Bauer. And
I know Lynn is like this golden thread in the community.
Yes,
we were talking about that
the other night. She threads a
wonderful
tapestry of good people that she connects.
It's good people. Hey, and you know what? Speaking of which, I don't have our. Oh, there it is. I was looking for our clock.
Oh,
because usually I go over.
Oh, we are over?
No, we're not. We're good.
Okay.
Yeah, but no, there's a lot of times we're like, hey, Tommy, where are we? Oh, by the way, thank you so much. Tommy's our producer. He's like awesome.
Thank you, Tommy.
And yeah, he makes us all look good.
I'm sure.
Which is not easy when you consider we're live.
No, that's wonderful. I'm avoiding that TV over there. I'm not looking.
No, you can look. Sometimes I look when you're talking. You're the only person up there, so I could see. So, but I thank you so much for coming. Did we go over? Do we leave out anybody? Kids, teachers,
adults. We have created also classes for adults, and I partnered with the city of Coral Gables. Yeah. I've partnered with so many people. The Coral Gables Arts Cinema, the city of Coral Gables, and even outside the niche, I created other programs for students in higher ed. Since I teach higher ed as well, I feel that they needed to be included in the equation.
Do you take interns in?
I am taking interns. I just filled an application with the Education Fund.
Because every once in a while, I have people calling me and saying, hey, you know, I'd love to intern.
Yes, send them our way.
And if it's in the arts, then we can direct people your way.
Yes, and if they're not interested in education per se, because they're interested in something else, we do have an exhibitions department led by Yunakis Villalonga, our chief curator. Wonderful department. She has the help of Pamela Londono, and both of them are doing wonderful exhibits. Then there is John Allen, our executive director, and Malcolm Laredo, the historian, and they together also have wonderful things brewing, and I'm sure they will benefit from having some interns.
Does the museum have any big events coming up that, I mean, I know they used to have that Christmas thing that was so amazing, but
you mean as events? Well, we are slowly coming
fundraiser.
Back. But we have, we haven't planned anything yet.
Okay,
but I'm sure that if something is brewing and I don't know, you'll hear.
Well, no, that's right. We'll promote it once it is.
We do have the exhibition openings. I think the first one that we're going to do next is on April 2nd. It is going to be a Twilight Friday and the opening of the new exhibit.
Okay, so April 2nd at what time?
It's usually from 6 to 9.
6 to 9. Mm-hmm. Okay. And again, admission
is free.
Free.
Yes.
So
you can come in.
If you're not doing anything.
And if your kids don't have anything to do
save the date.
During spring break, send them over. We're going to have wonderful things happening. So I created
and after seeing you, they're going to want to send their kids.
That's great. That's lovely.
And again, it's not limited to Coral Gables. So, but it does fill up very quickly. I know. Yes. Mm-hmm. So as soon as you hear word that something's coming out at the Coral Gables Museum, sign up, because she really does have quite a following.
We are trying. So, we have great ideas, and we are a great community of collaborators. So
absolutely. Well, thank you so much again for coming today. I really appreciate it. The time has flown by.
Oh my God.
And again, I want to thank my sponsor, All Things Jackie M. And Jackie, you rock. Look forward to seeing you all soon. The Coral Gables Women's Club has an event coming up that I want to get Lily to come to. Gringo Bingo on April 6th. April
I'll be there.
2nd is your Twilight
Mhm.
thing. And so give me a call, Gloria at cnews.net. If you want to go to any of these things or find out more information, I'll be happy to share with you. Read my column. And thank you so much for joining us today, and have a great week.